What's going on, y'all? It's y'all boy G, um, aka Genito Sensei, and we back at it with the first episode of the Growth podcast. Doing this, it's almost like 2:15 in the morning right now. I wanted to do this a lot earlier, but uh, you know, something told me just like wait to really just make sure everything was in place and so I could put the podcast how I want to put it out. I've been doing this for, too long to, just be putting out mediocrity now. So everything I do with purpose. Everything I do, I do to further, um, you know, not only the brand, but our community and just, the message, behind it. So, uh, like I said, this is the Growth Podcast. My name is G. That's what I go by on online. It's Ginato Sensei. But this is, the start of a different, what should I say? Uh, a different entity where this kid, this is starting to build upon the brand of growth and what growth is about. I want to start telling that story, and the podcast is one of those ways I'm going to do that. So, whether you're watching this on YouTube, whether you're listening to this on Anchor or Spotify or iTunes or whatever places I get this to distribute to, I'm still trying to figure that out. But this is going to go on, whether it's this episode or the next one. This is going to start being up on the different streaming platforms, and I'm super excited for this to go down. And I hope you guys do enjoy this for sure. Now this is a podcast, so it's gonna be raw, uncut. I'm saying, no music. Y'all might hear, saying the fan in the background sometimes, an event. But it's just, this is a time for me to reflect, to drop gems of things that I see out there that represent what growth is, and I'm gonna get into what growth is in a little bit. But if you don't already know, but this episode, it's just January, in 2020, new decade, and this is the the thumbnails are for these podcasts and for the Instagram that I'm starting for it. It's going to represent something that happens in the podcast. So. This podcast is all about the 2020 energy and somebody that I feel that represents that, and the energy I'm trying to put towards not only what I do here but just in my everyday life is what Kelly Oubre is doing right now on the court, and just like his whole demeanor, how this year he's probably like the most improved player that I done seen as far as like just total complete, what I'm saying, like coming to his own, and what I think of a great player is. So before I get into that and what this 2020 energy is and what it means to me, I'm gonna get you guys to understand what growth is and what we're trying to accomplish over here. So growth stands for greatness requires will, time, hard work, and yeah, so it's something that I've come up with over my period of time just creating content, and something that it has always been in the back of my mind. Not necessarily the acronym, but just what it means, and how I go about my day. What I'm saying, how I go about anything that I'm involved in. Because for me, every day is an opportunity to get better. What I'm saying, the day you were before, and I don't take that lightly. So that's what we're looking for. That's what we're on the path. What I'm saying, we're growing to be great. What I'm saying, and whatever we're trying to do. Whether it's you on the game, you trying to be the best in the lobby, what I'm saying, whether it's you on the court, what I'm saying, trying to get the win, trying to get the most wins that day, what I'm saying, just getting better at every aspect of, getting a new position at your job, starting a new business, like in anything. And we're tackling all different types of issues, whether, you know, it's something that's happening in like pop culture, sports, you know what I'm saying, gaming, anything that I feel, you know, we can relate to, or, you know what I'm saying, we can find small gems within the content, whether that's something that I do specifically or something that I see or hear about or listen to. We're going to talk about in this podcast. And usually, you know, podcasts are, you know, at least an hour long. That's not what I'm going to be doing here. Just, you know, real, like, it's a real short, you know, so that, you know, y'all attention spans, or not just y'all, but just, you know, people's attention spans are smaller now. So I want to give you guys the information, give you guys, you know, the tools and my experiences, and explain the situation in a small, concise package that, you know, can be listened back to, you know what I'm saying, just in case. Because those are some of the best podcasts that I like to listen to or watch. I can go back and watch whatever episode, and I can still enjoy and find the small things that I might have missed before in those. So it's probably not going to be really long videos, probably like the longest maybe 15 minutes, but I'm gonna try to keep it around 10, or, you know, but no less than like 5 probably. I don't know, but I'm not gonna put no boundaries on it, even though I just did. But whatever comes out is whatever comes out. Like I said, it's raw, uncut, and I could be, you know, long-winded sometimes. I'm trying to explain things. So yeah, man. So this year, this new decade is I feel like my opportunity to really just go all in and try to, you know, create something out of nothing. You know what I'm saying? We just hit 280 subscribers today on YouTube, and I had my most, like, you know, watched video not too long ago, and that was like, you know, growth at the end of, you know what I'm saying, the year and end of the decade, that, you know, we got a little bit of momentum now. So I felt like there was no other time that would have been better for me to try and really just go stupid, you know what I'm saying, go crazy, like just try everything and every little thing that I could, you know, to make this dream a reality. So this podcast is going to be a part of that, and everything that we do, you know what I'm saying, from now on is going to be catered towards, you know, becoming the best we can be, and me helping you guys do the same, because it's not just me out there, you know what I'm saying. I wish, you know, like I know for me, self-improvement always been like a huge thing, and I'm in a stage of that myself, where now I finally have goals. Now I have a why. Now I have at least what I think, you know what I'm saying, something that's driving me, and from people that's helped me realize that, to situations that have, you know, brought it out of me. So I'm also going to take this time to, you know, explain to you guys what my why is and what I want out of all of this. So my why right now is basically my family and my people. So that's the reason why I'm trying to do everything, because for me, I'm an only child, and so I don't got no older, you know, brothers or sisters or anything like that. So it's always, you know, being me, and I always have wanted to, you know, set a good example, not only for my family, but just my younger cousins, and just people that's, you know, coming behind me, just because I didn't have that for myself. That, you know, I didn't have access, or I wasn't around, it was a different generation, or whatever the case was. You know, I didn't really have a great example of, you know, what, you know, I wanted to be, other than my pops, like, you know what I'm saying. But I'm speaking more towards, like, you know, so up here, you know what I'm saying, like a older cousin or older brother, or somebody that, you know, could lead me, that's more in tune with how things are going today, you know what I'm saying, and nowadays. So that's what I want to be for you guys. Is y'all want to consider me y'all older brother, or, you know what I'm saying, whatever, uncle, I don't know. I ain't that old to be uncle, but I mean, I guess I kind of am, but still, that would be weird. But you know, just big bro, whatever, you know what I'm saying, or a little big bro, you know what I'm saying. I ain't discriminate, you know what I'm saying, but I do feel like, you know, I got you know, a gist of, like, you know, how to set your mind up and set your, you know, not say discipline, but just, you know, how to I've always been very goal oriented. I don't really have trouble figuring out what I want to do. I always knew what I wanted to do. It's just, you know, getting to that place and, you know, seeing how the cards fall. So yeah, man. So that's pretty much my why, and my end goal. I'll probably talk about it more in depth in a different podcast, just because I don't want to run too long. But it's basically, I want to impact my community in a really big way, through a community center, but it's more of a, you know, youth center, where, you know, whether it's sports or, you know, tech or the arts, somewhere for people to go, to get better at the craft that they choose or are introduced to. And I want to do that for my community, and I think that's gonna be dope. I don't know how we're gonna get there yet, but that's my, you know, lifetime thing. And if I can, you know, start this podcast now, who knows when all that stuff is gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? But it's something that's like, it's going to happen. I know it. I think that's something that, you know, God's put on my heart, since I was young, and, you know, I really want to do that. And yeah, so that's my end goal right there. So you know, yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it. That's me. So yeah, man. So if y'all wanna, you know, continue to follow the journey of this podcast, follow and listen, definitely, you know, subscribe. I don't know if it's follow or what you do on on a podcast platforms, but just, you know, follow or subscribe wherever this might be, and, you know, check for me, you know, saying on Instagram and everything, you know, saying pretty much everything is at Janato Sensei for, you know, my personal stuff, or follow Grwth, you know, saying Grwth podcast on IG. We have apparel, as I can see right here. That's that Grwth apparel. And what else? We got Grwth Studios. That's pretty much where we do all our content work. That's back behind that, and, you know, yeah, man, that's what we rocking. This podcast is powered by Grwth Apparel, so definitely go support that. You know, we got, you know, different designs that y'all can check out and support the podcast and the channel and everything we got going over here. So I appreciate everybody that are listening and to this point. And yeah, man, that's gonna do it. So always keep growing, always keep going. This is your boy G, and I'm gone. Peace.